Hello and welcome to Storyboard 18, Nick. It's lovely to have you on the show.
Great to be here.
So, straight off the bat, Nick, tell me what is your agenda for India as part of Accenture Song? Why? I mean, I don't know if it's maybe a bit of interest, or is it that Accenture is bullish on India now?
Well, we
What's your take?
definitely say we're bullish on India. My personal role changed recently in the new year to be the creative chairman, which means that I have a purview of everything creative that's happening within Song, which is the part of Accenture that has all the creative assets and the customer-facing work. But also, connect back with Big Accenture, which obviously is a huge, big tech business operations machine. So I and as part of that, because India is such an important part of Accenture, is to come here, meet the people, and see what's going on with the creative parts of Song.
So, of course, Accenture Song, previously known as Accenture Interactive,
Yes.
billion-dollar global company. Over the last 10 years, for instance, it has acquired maybe over 40 companies into its fold.
Yeah.
So what is your acquisition strategy? Do you have something in mind for India? I know there was recently an acquisition in Indonesia, if I'm not mistaken. So, I mean, do you have your eyes set on any assets here?
I don't know if I'm personally aware of what we're looking at. I will say that just generally, a lot of the acquisitions that happened for Accenture Interactive happened obviously before I started. And they fall into two categories from an agency point of view. One is design, right, and all of the sort of related versions of digital product and commerce and all experience stuff, and then more the advertising and marketing. So that's the sort of span of creative assets that we look at, and obviously, for an acquisition to be worthwhile, it needs to be strategic and connect back into the larger, sort of connected offering that we have. So that's a really important part. And I'm going to talk today about in the end, creativity is about combinations and connecting different things, and we have a lot of pieces to connect at Accenture, which gives us our superpower.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let me just sort of switch track a little bit here and talk about India, for instance,
Yep.
because there's something that I've observed. Sort of over the last 10 years, while India as a market has gained significant creative clout, it is also in a way becoming a back end for agencies, networks, for marketing services companies, everything from software development to, cheap and fast content creation. Now, I mean, maybe take off your Accenture Song hat and tell me, as someone who's been in this business that long, what are some of the advantages and risks of something like that happening, especially when we are on this cusp of greatness, so to speak?
Yeah. Well, so from the outside looking in for years and years, because I've been coming to India for a long time and I have a great affection for the place. India has always had this amazing sort of technical ability, great engineers. When I worked in Silicon Valley, there were lots of amazing software engineers, and there's a whole fleet of Indian-born CEOs that are running tech companies.
Sure.
And then there's this great film business that you have, and that obviously seeps over into sort of TV advertising and everything. So this great craft, at in some ways the most emotional end of the industry, and then there's this great technical ability. But I would also say that when I think about creativity, I also think about the technical side. One of the reasons that creativity and technology needs to be so close now is because the advent of new technology is so rapid and has accelerated so much that if you don't have creative practitioners working with great technicians, then you don't take advantage of those technologies. Every technology to a creative person is a new medium to explore. And the act of inventive in a technology is in itself creative. So in some ways, I see technology and creativity as two sort of creative forces coming together. One of invention, and the other one of sort of creative. So I don't really distinguish as much as other people between creativity and technology, because I think they're so dependent on each other. So going back to India, so India has this amazing, technical foundation that can only be good. That can only be good because the technology changes happen as I was saying before, so rapidly that in some ways mastering those technologies creatively has to catch up. And if you don't have creative people and technologists working together, then you're going to get left behind, which we've seen happen, in the past,
True.
over and over
Yeah,
again.
yeah.